What's going on, fellow traders? It's Edward here, aka Deadly Crypto, and we're going to be doing an altcoin analysis. So in these altcoins, we're going to be looking at Ethereum because, well, it's the most major altcoin out there. We're going to be looking at HEX, per request by student, DOT by request by student, and BNB by request by student. So we're going to be checking out these altcoins. I'm going to be trying to talk about them quickly using exponential moving averages and dynamic trend lines with horizontal support and resistance. If you're not familiar with any of these concepts, please review some of the material we have available before you dive into this, or it may not make any sense. I'll try to make as much sense as possible. So jumping into Ethereum, we're going to be looking at the daily time frame here to start off with for a top-down approach. So Ethereum's got a lot of price action history. Here we can note back in January, we had a major outbreak sending us into a new uptrend channel. This is where we projected this uptrend line from. And then recently here in May, we saw the big fallout across multiple cryptocurrency pairs, not just Ethereum. So here we can see that our downtrend line was actually very steep and didn't have an obvious one like Bitcoin's did until recently, wherever we climbed Ethereum's massive upwards price movement to this familiar price zones. Zooming in a little bit here, we can see that previous horizontal resistance was around this level as indicated by this purple line at roughly 2,900, and there was another area of resistance that we struggled to get above around 2,631 indicated by these purple lines. Well, this trend reversal touched an area of previous support right around 1,700 indicated by multiple touches here along this blue line, which indicated to us that we would have a nice support zone. Here we can see price shot up, formed a new high here, in which point I connected these two lines, right? I didn't have this connected until August 16th where we had this high point, and then I could project it down to see what our trading range was. So looking into a smaller time frame now, this is our trading range here. I do recall someone from the group asking me how I would trade Ethereum, and I did set up this Ethereum trade at the time, even though I didn't want to. I prefer to trade a wedge outbreak. So if I didn't take this trade here, I would have been waiting for quite some time to see if this outbreak was confirmed, as here we didn't see any confirmation outside of it. So this was not an outbreak confirmation, so I did not enter. Here we're not looking at an outbreak confirmation yet either, so I have not entered. This was the only recent position I've taken on Ethereum, and it did play out, according to plan, luckily for me. So here we are looking at an area of support at 2,899. If price fails to break above this trend line here and it goes below, that's going to be our next target price before looking at a previous horizontal resistance point of 2,600. If price can break out and above, then we will continue trajectory along this line possibly. As we can see here, we're forming the possibility of a upward ascending channel, which could give us price wedges in this trading range, and if this is broken above, can eventually accelerate higher. So a student has requested that we analyze HEX coin. I'm not very familiar with this coin. I'm looking at it on Uniswap. Let me pull up to the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame here, it looks relatively new to Uniswap, coming in just before 2021, somewhere in November of 2020. So we can see a very strong uptrend line formed beginning around May 22nd, when most other cryptocurrencies were taking a crash. This coin was continuing to trade upwards, right? So it seems to be going against the flow. We can connect these upwards price points by connecting these lows to lows and trajecting it out. Here we have a previous resistance point as price failed to break above here. When it did, it tested here for support, continued along this line. Here we have a zone, so we can see price failed to break above here and failed to break below here. So this is a zone that we could be looking for in the future for possible price retracement. Here we have an upwards, here we have the recent all-time high, and we drew a line extending it. As I'm recording this video, this daily candlestick is shooting past this all-time high, creating a new one, which could send the coin into a FOMO frenzy. So be on the lookout for that. If we're looking for retracements, obviously this would be an area of resistance, and we would be looking for possible retraces towards 16 cents, 18 cents and below. along these lines, and if not respected here, right, because here we can see now a wedge is forming. So if not respected here on a possible retrace, then we could see lower lows. But currently, price is booming on the daily time frame. Let's look into the 1 hour. So due to the amount of trading volume that is on this pair, these candlesticks may not make sense. So trying to read the 1 hour time frame might be a little bit hard to some of you since there's not a lot of liquidity in this pair. Basically, we can see here that price is currently above this all-time high. So this is a new all-time high from what I previously mapped as we are looking at this coin. So please pay attention to the larger time frame zones that I had given and these ranges if you're looking to be trading this coin. So up next, we're going to be looking at DOT. All right, so here is our DOT coin. I've not charted anything from back in 2020. The charting starts here about 2021. So we can see that early on in this year, we had a resistance point of $10.50 be broken. That was ultimately used as support here in this great fallout that most coins saw from May. So opening this up here, we can see another support zone here, which was used as support multiple times before falling through and then used as resistance, which brings us to our current price conflict here. So we could see that we are facing some resistance and this daily candlestick is falling below this uptrend. This is a strong, tall uptrend line presented by DOT. And currently speaking, technically speaking, we're looking at this series of lower highs to form a downtrend, and we can project this indefinitely, right, as long as it is respected. So along the daily time frame, if this is respected, we can use it as a guideline to make short trades. However, if we can find support along some of these EMAs here, then we can continue an upwards trajectory. Let's take a look at a smaller time frame, zooming into the 1 hour so we can see our possible trading ranges, which might make a little more sense. So here we can see that we have fallen out of this range now. So what we need to do in order for this uptrend to continue is get above this downtrend line that we have here. So we should be using this as our valid trend line to be making trades off of, right? If, for example, if you want to make a long, you might want to try and take it to this position, or even here. This will be our active downtrend line. So this would be take profit 1 if you wanted to long, take profit 2 could possibly be in this area, or you could simply wait to get here, and if it's respected here, take a short back down, or if it gets back here, take a short back down. This is our trading range for DOT USDT. As we can see again, we are approaching this resistance point. If we can break this, it will be good for further upwards price action. Otherwise, we can consider this a wide trading channel until this resistance is actually broken and support can confirm above it for some time. So next we'll be looking at BNB. All right, so for BNB, we do have an interesting chart here. You can see that the fallout from May was very steep and didn't exactly find horizontal support like a lot of others. It found dynamic support here connecting these two lows, found support again here, and never quite reached it on this last point. With the EMAs converging up like they are now, we can see that we are in a clear uptrend, and price will be looking to test some of these areas on the way back down. Now, unlike some of the other coins we analyzed today on the daily time frame, this uptrend is actually still valid. It hasn't been pierced through yet, as we saw in DOT, which is giving us an area of confliction. This is actually a valid downtrend, and if we were looking at retrace, we could look into a smaller time frame for a better idea of where that might be. So currently, the candlesticks are rejecting the 9 EMA, which shows us the potential for a downtrend. Putting us at the 100 EMA would give us about a price of 434. The bottom of this zone would give us about 430. And if that can't hold here, we'll look to be testing the bottom of this trend line around 415. Ultimately, if that ends up being broken, we're going to look to descend further back to a $348 BNB. However, it's technically still a valid uptrend as the series of lower highs has not been pierced and price is far away from the uptrend line. Now, as I said, it's possible for some retrace. So once price can get to this area, it might be your best opportunity to enter if you're looking for a long. Pay close attention so that way you can find the best opportunities within the markets that we have coming ahead of us. Thank you guys for watching my first altcoin analysis. Leave a comment below for what altcoins you want me to analyze next, and I'll try and put them on the list, guys. We're going to be trying to analyze more altcoins for you as well as more Bitcoin. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and happy trading.